I'm sitting here with Hazel French, my aunt, and as being a woman in the world and being part of a subordinate group, have you seen prejudice or discrimination in your life?
As a woman, when I originally started working in the office environment, the first office I worked in was mainly men, and the main things that bothered me was the fact that I was referred to as one of the girls in the office, and some of the comments that were made around the office were inappropriate, but that was a while ago. And again, the second job that I had, I got hired at the same time that another male did, who was the same age, who had less experience than I did, and he was paid 30% more than I was. And we talked about it, and I went to the boss and asked why, and they commented that men need to make more than women. I think things have changed since then, and that's a good thing, because that would not ever go over in today's society.
I agree. Also, being different from me as I'm a young teenager, being part of the dominant adult group, have you ever seen prejudice or discrimination or oppression of any of the other subordinate groups as the elderly or the dominant?
Well, when I was younger, and a lot of the prejudice I think these days I experienced when I was younger. I don't see a lot of it now, but when I was about 14, I lived in Iowa, and there was, it was mainly a white environment, and it was a small town, and we had a black gentleman move into our town, and unfortunately was treated very badly. Lots of rumors, lots of really bad talk, and the gentleman ended up leaving our small town, which was unfortunate. I don't think, again, something like that would happen, but today, but you know, I do think some of that stuff does go on in certain areas.
Mm-hmm. So, moving on to the next category would be sexual orientation. Being heterosexual, the dominant group in today's society, have you seen active forms or embedded forms of discrimination, prejudice, or oppression against the subordinate homosexual group in today's society?
You know, I think there is a lot that goes on. I think homosexuality has come a long way as far as, you know, they're now able to marry, they can, you know, I think add medical for their partner. I mean, there's a lot of things that have changed over the past, and I think that's great, because I know before it was very difficult. Even in the military, they were prejudiced against. We've seen just this past year with football, with, I forget his name. Michael Sam. Had some issues just because he came out as a gay football player. Things are changing, and they're changing for the better.
So the fifth category in the 7 categories of otherness would be physical and mental abilities. And being a part of the dominant able-bodied group, of course, how have you seen discrimination, again, your family, just personal examples, of oppression of the disabled in your life?
I'm going to refer back to when I was younger again. My father was in a wheelchair for the last part of his life, and it was difficult because back then people didn't have wheelchair accessible buildings, and so when we would go places, it was difficult to, you know, obviously go to eat at some places, or maybe go to a doctor's office. It was difficult because he wasn't in a wheelchair. We were unable to get to places without people helping us, and it was very frustrating at the time. Again, it's come a long way. I think people are more apt to make changes for disabled people. It's come a long way, and I think it's a lot better, again.
So into the 6th category, where it's economic status, class, or income. Being a part of the higher middle class, have you seen discrimination against even maybe the wealthy, the higher class, upon your class or discrimination, or upon the middle class or even the low class? Have you seen discrimination?
You know, I think that as a society, we tend to, you know, to say that I've actually seen a lot of this, no, I haven't. But I know, like, with political parties, there's a lot going on with the taxes. And I think the government does try and help the lower class a lot with this area, and I think there are avenues by which they can go to. And I do think that, in some areas the wealthy are still getting wealthier. And I don't know what the answer is. I don't know how to, make the difference in those dividing lines, or is there a big prejudice against each of them? Yes, there is. But how do you deal with that? I honestly, that's a big question. Who knows? I don't know if anybody really has the answers.
Okay, moving to this last one.
Okay.
The religious or spiritual belief, the last one, religionism. Being Christian, Catholic, is a more dominant norm here in American society. Have you seen discrimination and prejudice against the other our subordinate groups or other religions at this time?
As a Christian, I don't like talking about religions. I feel that religion is a very personal decision in one's life, and I don't really like to, discriminate or talk about what other people's beliefs are, because I have my own, and they're what I want to believe, and to each their own on that.
All right. Would you have anything else to say about anything discrimination, prejudice, these embedded active forms in this world? Have you seen in these categories? Are there any examples or anything like that?
Not that I can think of.
All right. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.